Saved Chicks. This is your girl, Day.
I'm Denisa.
This is Lauren.
And I'm Ayana.
And you're tuned into Saved Girl
Secrets.
Hey, y'all. So,
Hey, girl.
Hey. So first off, we just want to say that this particular show, is brought to you by Carol's Second Act, which is a show all about a woman who is starting over.
Yes.
And I think all of y'all seen it, right?
Yes, we
We
have.
We got to preview
Yes.
a very special episode.
Very exciting.
Yeah. And so she's somebody who, she used to be a teacher, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
all right,
she
so
taught.
we ain't got a story, but we're going to talk
I know
about
who
Carol's
else
We're going
story.
to talk about Carol's story.
I know who else is a teacher, huh?
Who?
He's a doctor in the sick room.
You
Lawyer in the courtroom.
Come on now.
I'm not doing this for Lauren today. I'm not. But yeah, so she was a teacher who goes to medical school, I believe.
Yes.
And then she's doing like what is it called?
A residency.
Residency,
Yeah, she's doing
yeah.
a residency.
Right. And so she's like the oldest resident and she's like
Yes.
starting over. So she
Yeah.
has this whole teaching career and then she comes back and she starts
and
over.
freshly divorced.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has a lot going on.
Yes.
Yeah. And she has a daughter. I think her daughter's
She has a
probably around
daughter.
like our age.
Yeah, she looks like she's around our age.
Yeah, and then everybody that she's working with seems to be like the age of
Her
her
daughter.
daughter.
Your daughter.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a really cool show, and I definitely enjoyed it. It definitely hit a nerve for me.
Me too.
It definitely hit. You go first.
Me too. I saw a lot of myself in Carol. I guess being the older person in certain situations. I mean, even us as a cast.
Yeah,
I
because
am the
I'm gonna
oldest.
hop in here in the comments.
I knew somebody was going to bring this up because it really bothered them.
I seen the
Jesus.
comments, and somebody was like, "I just think it's so great that it's two younger women and two older women." And I was like, "We older?"
Yeah, I was like older. I'm like, I'm not that much older. We're like steps, you know?
What you saying, Lauren?
But you are older.
I've never thought of myself as an older woman. Like, I refer to people as an older woman.
Well,
Well,
But go ahead, finish. I didn't interrupt
I'll be
you.
34 this year, so.
I just
now you're starting over in your mentality of thinking.
You know,
There you go.
But yeah,
Anyway.
I saw myself in Carol. I guess with being the oldest person in certain situations, and having certain knowledge about certain things, but and just kind of being the, you want to, I guess also being a mom. And wanting to like come in and save the day and help and stuff and all of that, and people being like, I don't need your help, I'm good. Like, and I was like, yeah, it was just like, we don't want to go too much into it because we want you guys to really watch it.
Yes,
but it
watch
was
it.
some stuff, like especially with her boss, I was like,
That's an interesting dynamic,
her boss
too.
is younger than her.
Yes.
Let's not give too much away.
I
But
mean,
yeah.
her boss
Yeah.
is younger than her.
Yeah.
And
It
it's,
is.
it's yeah.
so that was my thing. Yeah. It was just like, okay, I guess learning, and I'll,
You know what I can appreciate about the show already, even though it hasn't come out yet, but by the time this airs, they'll be able to see the first episode. But I did love actually seeing a dynamic from two generations and it not be family members.
yes.
Because I'm so used to TV and sitcoms where it's even if you see multi-generations, it's a mom and grandchildren, or it's that type of dynamic. So to see it in the workforce, because we got to deal with it every day.
Right.
Everybody deals with it. So to see it portrayed in this light was pretty good to me. I thought it was dope.
Yeah, I think it hit a nerve for me just from starting over and feeling like you come from a space where you know everything, and then moving into a space where it's kind of like, oh, I technically don't know everything.
That's good.
And I have to submit to authority in this space, and it's such a tough transition of going from being like on the top of your industry
Come on now.
and everybody knows you and you can call in favors and do this and do that, and then you go somewhere and it's like, I'm sorry, but I'm your boss.
Right.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
So I can definitely identify with that.
To add to that point, though, what I appreciated about the show was that even though, yes, she was now into a different career than where she started, some of those, I guess, qualities and knowledge that she
Yes.
received
Yeah.
while being a teacher was applicable to like the career that she stepped into. So that was one major thing that I appreciated. There were some parts of the episode that I was just like, she's doing a lot. But
she was doing a lot.
like,
She had to reel it back in. Come on,
back in. But there were, I mean, you all of course saw the episode, but there were some aspects of the episode where like she stepped up and like she started to use, I think as a teacher a lot of times it is sort of like being that mother
Yeah.
figure, you know?
Absolutely.
And she was already a mother. So by her like applying some of those qualities of like being a teacher or being the mother, like it really did help in the situation once you watch the episode, but it really did help in that last situation of the episode. I don't know, I think that really made her like real to me. Kind
Yeah.
of seeing her, engage.
I agree.
Have any of you guys ever been in a space where you legit started over?
I feel like I'm in that space right now. Starting
What do you
over.
mean?
What does that feel like for you right now?
Or what is your starting over?
It's like 3 questions.
It's like boom, 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 boom.
I need the answer to all 3 questions.
yes.
For me, especially in this space that I'm in right now, okay, my daughter is 18 months and she just started school. So for me, it's like, what?
Here you go with them
She
months.
is a year and a half.
She 18 months.
18
Say
months.
if you want to say 18
Leave me
months.
alone, Lauren. But she just started school, and I really thought we was gonna ride it out till like 2 and whatnot. But I learned, just kind of seeing how she flows and stuff. It's like, all right, you need to be in an environment that you're learning, and that someone is able to, I guess, stimulate that brain more than I can. So my starting over is like, all right, you're gone out of the house. What am I going to do now? Like, and I have things that I've been trying, I guess, to work on while she was at home and stuff like that. But now it's like, now you really have no excuse.
Right.
Not to do things.
Like, you have no excuse at all. Like, okay, you got this, this, and this. This is your day. Like, from 9 to 4, it's like, I have a work day for real now because she's in school.
Right.
So that's starting over, like, mentally. I mean, I've been up since 5:30 this morning, like, and just that has not, I have not been a morning person since I had her. So just even starting
you have to
over
drop
with
her off
that.
at a certain time.
Yes, I have to drop her off. Like, we get out of the house about 7:30. Then I have to drop her off. I got there about like 8:15 this morning, and it's just new for me.
Right.
Because, listen, I was rolling out the bed like 9 o'clock before, but now it's like,
Wow, that is a
no,
blessing.
so.
I ain't seen 9 o'clock in a very, very long time.
Yeah, but just that starting over, and just even her being my accountability now that she's in school. It's like, okay, Ayana, now it's time for you to really do what God has called you to do, and just in a way start over. So at this stage in both of our lives.
Wow.
There was something that kind of came to mind as you were talking, and I guess I can relate more to this. Of course, I do not have any children, but I was thinking about the fact of how sometimes you have to start over emotionally.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's really good.
and it's kind of applicable to what's kind of happening in my life right now, because before I used to be very passionate about this one thing, and it was something that I breathe, breathe, sleep, like I just really loved
What
it.
was the thing?
I don't want to say it right now.
Was it a thing or a person?
Okay, I'll say it. It was architecture.
Oh, okay.
So I'll say it. It was architecture. Architecture was something that I just like.
You loved it.
I loved it. Like I could just do it day in, day out. And it's like sometimes it's like I'm literally pulling teeth to motivate myself sometimes to just be like, design a building. Yeah, and it's like it's super tough because I feel like now I'm in a place where I'm literally starting over. And I hear a lot of times we hear our pastors say, the Lord will give you new want tos, but it's starting to make me question, like, okay, God, why am I feeling this way about this industry? Something I invested a lot of time.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of time. I sacrificed friendships, relationships, to go after this one thing. And now I'm in this place where it feels like I'm literally starting over emotionally to force myself to do this one thing that I thought I, longed to do. So I don't know. I think that's an interesting thing we could talk about too. It's just like how do
Starting
you
over
emotionally, like it's not, and that's something too that Carol had to experience as well, and that was clear throughout the episode.
Yeah.
Is that like, you know, her emotions were definitely still involved in the things that she was overcoming, but not only
she left.
the things she's left, or that I don't know. We didn't see everything, so maybe the thing left her. You just
You don't know.
you don't know, but it's just like, you know, I think it's a tangible thing, you know, sort of like to Ayana's story, but it could definitely be an emotional thing too. It's like starting
Spiritually, too.
over.
Yeah.
And spiritually, totally.
I think for me, what you said struck a chord in me because me changing or starting over in terms of career stemmed from exactly what you just said. Like from the time I was, and I think I may have said this on another podcast, like from the time I was like 3, 4, or 5, I was like, I'm going to be on the radio. Like, I want to work in the radio. I want to work in music. And I knew that. And I hit, 18, went to college, got an internship at a corporate office that owned, radio stations and things like that. And I was like out on tour from that age all the way up until like 25. And it became a point when it just wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it was like going to a concert was like pulling teeth. And it's like, I don't want to sit through another concert. I don't want to, like, I didn't have it. It wasn't exciting anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't love it. I was on like a weekend show and it would be like, I would be late getting there. Something that like you said, like something I loved, something I prayed for, something I really, really wanted. But it was like a knock on my door that, okay, maybe you're being guided into a different space or a different season. And that's when I literally quit my job and moved to Atlanta. And I ended up, working at a ministry, getting into ministry. And it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. But that whole starting over emotionally was super important because I literally went from a space of, oh, I know everybody knows me, to who are you?
Yeah.
Who? What are you doing here? That type of a thing. And having to like emotionally understand that sometimes I feel like God will give you the desires of your heart and allow you to live them out and say, okay, I allowed you to do that and it prepared you for what I have given you to do.
Totally.
And so I appreciate the fact that I was able to live the dream that I thought I had, and now God is moving me into a space where I'm living the dream that He had for me.
Yeah. Totally.
Listening to you guys is oddly enough, I was or kind of am in the same space whenever it comes to career. Like Sade, you mentioned earlier, like prior to working in the financial industry, I was in retail. I love retail, eat, sleep, breathe it. I had gotten to a point with the retailer that I worked for that I was that go-to person. It was like, okay, Denise, go to this store, train this person. Go to this store, train this person. Okay, we're going to send you here. We're going to do this. And being that person that everybody in the district calls, I'm like, okay, I don't know how to do this. How do I do this? Like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? And then I felt like I was forced out. Like, I felt like at a point, I mentioned earlier on another podcast where my mother had gotten sick, and I was like, okay, God, I need this ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? The hours are just so draining. This is just not sufficient for me. So then I ended up changing careers and starting over, literally, and going into the financial industry. And I felt like because I had not completed a degree, because I had not checked all the boxes that all my peers have, wonderful degrees from very prestigious institutions, and I didn't have that. For me, starting over literally felt like I did not belong. For me, starting over felt like I was just not supposed to be there, and I didn't look at it as like starting over. I felt like I was forced into something that I did not want to do. So in my mind, I didn't process until probably over a year later that, this is still a fresh start. You still have so much to bring to the table. Even now, my peers are like, oh, you know what? I love your approach and how you handle people. They're not used to handling people. I deal with people every single day coming from the industry I came from. They don't have that experience.
Right.
So for me, I didn't look at it as, starting over. And I think sometimes we don't recognize when we're starting over. Sometimes it feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like, either God has just completely abandoned you. You're not hearing from Him. You feel like, your whole world is upside down and you're really confused. And it just may be a space where you're starting over, and that's okay.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing was you said you felt like you didn't belong there. And it seems like it was in a sense of a space where you felt like everybody else had all of these things that they checked off. And for me, it was the complete opposite, where it was like, God, how you going to put me somewhere that I feel like is beneath me? Like, and it was wrong to think that.
Right.
But it's like, I went from managing people, telling other people what to do,
Right.
to being somebody's assistant. And it was just like, my transition happened so quick that there was not even a time for me to change my mind. Like, I had quit my job, came to Atlanta, and started a job in a matter of 2.5 weeks.
Oh wow! So you too hadn't processed.
So I didn't
what
even
the starting
mindset
over
I hadn't
was
processed
still-
Right.
what I did.
Yeah.
Until a month after I did it, and I looked up like, well, I can't go back because the people gonna laugh at me
Right.
if I come back. But it's like, what you said is so important, that sometimes starting over is like, the word says that, for I'm going to do a new thing. Like, any.
Go ahead and take my word.
My bad, Lauren. My bad. I ain't gonna go into it, but I'm just saying. I feel like as a Christian, your life should be a continuous space of starting over.
Yes.
You should be maturing to a point where you hit a level and it's like, and you like, woo, as soon as you start to get like comfortable, like you be like, oh, okay, I got a little groove in this seat. God be like, nope, let me just get you up and take you to the next one. And it's like, it's a continuous state of knocking you out of being comfortable and calling you higher.
The crazy thing in that is like it hits on all areas.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
it hits
absolutely.
in career. It hits with friendships.
Yes.
Like it hits with like even your casual times.
Yeah.
Like there was a time in my life that's all I did was watch TV. Now I can't tell you what's happening on TV. And it's like you just find yourself doing something new that you have never done before. And what I loved about what Denisa said, what I took from what you said was pretty much just enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understand that it is a shift. Sometimes shifts are not comfortable, but they're necessary. And I love what you said too, because it's like when you know that you're in a place where you're shifting, you should know that you're growing.
Yeah.
That it's not something that's going to be done in vain, but it is something that is literally going to progress your life to a new level or to what God ultimately has called for you to do, which goes back to the point of what Ayana was saying. Even
Come
if
on,
you're a
bring
child,
it out again.
No, I mean, I just love the fact, like, it's all kind of like merging to me in my mind because it's like, you said now that your child is in school, now you can focus on things that whereas in the past you couldn't focus on. And it's like, as all of you all are talking, it's just like a reminder to me of like, just enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Understand it. The ride may get a little bumpy. There, of course, going to be some experiences that you're not going to like. There are going to be some people that you encounter. Lord knows I do not like. But understand that I just have to enjoy the ride. And even in the experience of me not liking the people or the encounters that I have, or the feelings that I have, it's still all growth.
Right.
Yes.
Because it's still, the Lord is still taking me to a place. He's still maturing me. He's still, what they said, he's the potter, I'm the clay. So he is literally molding me into who he would have for me to be. So shout out to y'all for just bringing it full circle for me.
Yes.
On the flip side to that, I do want to say Ayana is so good about me. Okay, so on the other side on our podcast, right? So I love thinking about the other side, like Stranger Things, the other side, whatever it is. Anyway,
Oh my gosh.
They were
either
not
way,
in our
on the other
partnership.
side to that, I do want to acknowledge. Sometimes I feel like like when you're going through something or you feel like the enemy is attacking you and it's like it's the devil. Like sometimes I want to shake people and be like, okay, so
It
what?
ain't, but sometimes
Even
it don't
if
even be
is,
the devil.
But even if it is, so what? Square up. You got the authority. You got the power. Give him that
Exactly.
work. That's what he's supposed to do. So what? Then he came for you. You know who you are.
And then honestly, I feel like the discomfort is for you to line up and shape
Right.
up.
Yeah.
Like, okay, for example, I use, of course, Haven isn't like with her, the discomfort of me not being able to do my work and noticing that, hey, you need to be in a institution where it's structured for you. Go for it. That I can do what I need to do, because it was literally affecting me and Sylvester's work, because we're both like, because he's being distracted, because he sees me like frustrated that I can't, like, it got to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to sit on the couch and you play right there. She will come and pull my laptop back. Like back. It don't go that far back. Trying to break it. And I'm like, okay, you got to go. Like we, not in a
gotta
bad way,
No,
but
I love your honesty. Like,
You don't
I
gotta go forever, but
like,
you got to go for a couple hours.
You ain't got to go home,
okay.
but you got to get up out of here.
like you gotta, so I feel like it's weird how it always is some type of discomfort and shaking things up, and it's like for you to realize and get that clarity, because when I got the realization that okay, she needs to go to school, of course I was sad, but I was like, all right, this is what we got to do.
Yeah.
And we made that adjustment, and God literally opened doors, finances, all of that in order for that to happen. So I'm like, okay, Lord, I know this is the right direction. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to continue walking and see where it goes. Even up to this week, certain doors opening with our businesses because we made that one decision. Wow. So it's like, all right, Lord,
room.
I see you.
Which kind of makes me think of the fact too that God honors obedience.
Listen.
Yep.
You know, so by you making that decision, the Lord was like, I'm going to honor that.
Yep.
So it's literally like a ripple effect of things.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, it's funny that you talked about obedience, because literally I have
That's
like
Sade's thing.
this calendar that like I look at every day, and it said today, this was today's, it said it's not a matter of gaining more confidence, it's a matter of being more certain of our convictions. Confidence is being certain of our abilities. Conviction is being more certain of God's instructions. And it made me realize that you can be so confident in like your skills or your talents or your abilities or whatever, but when you're not confident in the fact that this is what God told me,
Yeah.
more than you're confident in people's opinions, more than you're confident in, how you feel or whatever, it's like what you said, like when you're obedient to this is what God said and that's what I'm going to do, that opens so many doors. Mm-hmm. So,
Yep.
But I guess we're going to take a break and we're going to come back with the word that I almost stole from you.
Yes.
If you don't mind.
Sure.
We'll be right back after this.
Saved Girl Secrets is brought to you by Feed Her. Head over to www.feedher.co for more information.
Welcome back to Saved Girl Secrets. And we have Lauren with a word.
You do. So I have a word that I think you heard earlier. So I'm just going to give you where you can find it from.
You want to know? I didn't even know that was your word.
That was the Holy Spirit.
I guess.
Holy Spirit? I know what you were saying.
So the word is coming out of Isaiah 43:18-19, and I'm reading out of the Message version. It says, forget about what happened. Don't keep going over old history. Be alert. Be present. I'm about to do something brand new. It's bursting out. Don't you see it? There it is. I'm making a road through the desert, rivers, and the Badlands. So as to what Sade said earlier, the Lord is doing something brand new in your lives. And it's not up to you to figure it out, to understand what it is that God is doing. It's just up to you to just be obedient to his word. And if you have to pray yourself through it, but just understand that in the end, the Lord is doing it on your behalf.
Yeah, that's it. The part I like of this scripture is the first verse where it says, forget about what's happened. Don't keep going over old history. And it's funny because that works both ways. You can keep looking at your past like, oh, this happened. Oh my God, did that happen? And you just like, it's so horrible. But then you also can look at it and think that your best is behind you. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes that's what keeps people from starting over. That's what keeps people from allowing God to do something new, is because you think that what happened was the best thing that was ever going to happen to you. And God is like, that you ain't seen nothing.
Like you just scratched the surface. That was
good.
Barely.
Wait till what I'm about to do.
Exactly.
What you wanted to say, Denise?
So the part that got me was the end of the scripture where it literally said that he was making a road in the desert and the rivers. I was like, okay, Lord, that really just spoke to me. So you mean to tell me, I've seen pictures of desert, I ain't been to one, but I seen one and it just looked like a bunch of dirt everywhere. Uh-huh. So you mean to tell me that you gonna make a whole road? Uh-huh. Like you about to make this path so clear for me in the midst of, I don't even know what this is, and it all look crazy and the same, like that in a river? You gonna make a road in a river. My God.
You gonna make a road in my God.
I'm really gonna believe for that. I'm gonna believe for, like, cause mentally for me and visually for me, like, if this seems like if you're going through so much and you really don't understand, and he literally is about to start something new and you're gonna start over, why not allow him the grace to go ahead and just make something completely new that you never even could have imagined?
It kind of man, Lord is dope, okay? Because it made me think about the Israelites when they crossed, the Red Sea, and how he literally
With
cleared
Moses.
with Moses, and how he literally cleared that path for them, as you were talking. But what's so symbolic about that is when you are walking through water, or when you're submerging yourself through water, it is literally like a baptismal, right? So like the knowledge about a baptismal is once you come out, you're supposed to be something brand new.
Right.
And as you was talking, I was like, Lord, how amazing are you that you, I guess, poetically allowed for a whole generation of people to walk through this water, and you're literally baptizing these people through this water, and when they come out, they're walking then into your promise, because ultimately they walked into his promised land.
Right.
Well, not all of them. But
all
The
of them
generation,
people.
generation of people walked into the promised land. But what I also loved about that too is that even when your enemy tries to follow you, they ultimately are submerged in what it is that you use to wash me clean.
What? Come on
Yeah,
now.
come through, Lauren.
I'm just like, God is just so amazing. Like, I'm speechless. I literally am. Like, I'm sitting up. If you're looking, please watch our YouTube, because I literally just zoned out.
like,
Yeah, my face was like, whoa.
Oh, okay.
Because it hit
really
me.
hit
Like,
you.
whoa.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
sorry.
So
That
I think
was
we
a
got to
good
tell the
one.
people where they can watch
Yes.
Carol's second act.
Carol's second act can be found on CBS starting September 26th, Thursday, September 26th at 9 p.m., 8:30 p.m. Central. So they can check it out on CBS.
Nice.
Tune in.
Tune in.
So, lead up. It's
Let's
funny
hash
that
it
you
out.
said that. Well, hash it out. But then, woman currently winning.
Oh, yeah.
Our woman
Yeah.
currently winning is actually Carol's second act's lead actress, Miss Patricia Heaton.
Yes.
She was famously known as Everybody Loves Raymond's wife.
Yes.
And then she was also in The Middle.
What was her name?
What was her name on there again?
For Ray's wife?
Deborah. Her name was Deborah.
Her name was Deborah.
Yeah, and then
remember.
she was also on another show that I kind of watched a couple of times called The Middle. But I chose her as our woman currently winning, especially because she has a new show and it's her. She's the lead. Like,
Right.
I felt like the other shows, like she was
supporting actress.
the
Yeah.
lead, but it was a guy who was the main actor. But this is her show. She's the lead, and it's like her, I guess, starting over as well as an
Nice.
actress, and then
Yeah.
also the show, someone starting over. So shout out to you, Miss Patricia, if you're watching this.
She's definitely a woman currently winning.
Yes.
Cause she working.
Okay?
Yes.
Years and years later.
Years
That's what I'm
and
talking about.
years.
It's
later.
getting to multiple
And
bags.
she still
Yes.
looks good, too.
She
does.
That's
She
another
definitely
thing.
does.
She looks good.
Yeah.
So, we're going to hash it out, guys.
Hash
Yeah.
it out.
I was gonna be real simple and say hashtag start.
I was about to say, I'm
Oh,
going
I
to give
know
Sade.
she
I was
going,
about to say, I'm giving Sade the floor.
I was just gonna say hashtag start over. That's too simple though.
No, it's not. I don't think it is.
I think, I mean, don't be afraid to start over, no matter what it is. And understanding that starting over doesn't mean a loss. It
Right.
doesn't mean, that you lost whatever's behind you. It means that God has more for you ahead
Exactly.
And that it's literally the beginning. When you start something, it is the beginning of
Yeah,
a thing.
it
So
is.
just keep that in mind, that you are literally embarking. You're not ending. You are embarking.
of you. Embarking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There it
hashtag
is.
start over.
Start over.
Hashtag start over. So
Hashtag
if you're
start
listening,
over.
if you follow our podcast, be sure to post your picture.
Yes.
We want to see you so we can repost you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say retweet.
And also, like, we want to hear about your starting
No,
over
that's real. I was just
stories.
thinking that. Like, how you
Yeah.
starting over?
Yeah, how are you starting over? Send us an email at savegirlsecrets@gmail.com. We would love to possibly discuss
Yeah.
again on our another episode.
Yeah,
and
when we go live,
Yeah.
we can talk about you and how you start out. If you want to be anonymous, put that in there.
if you scared about starting over, if you got a question for us, like how to start over in a particular
Yes.
situation,
Yeah. If you got
Email
advice,
us.
you know,
Yeah.
like if you feel like
Yeah.
you started
Yes.
over and you were successful in that, or you had some challenges and God was able to grace you and speak to you and lead you through it, which I'm sure He was. Give somebody else some advice on how you started over.
Yeah, so do all of those things. Send us a secret letter to savegirlsecrets@gmail.com. Post your picture, hashtag it, hashtag start over, and make sure you hashtag SGS podcast as well. We would love to hear from you.
Yes, definitely.
Be sure you're following us on all our social mediums at Save Girl Secrets on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And YouTube. They need to
and
go
YouTube.
to Cool
watch
Girls,
it.
Cool
Go to
Save
Cool
Chicks
Save
TV,
Chicks TV.
so y'all can see these beautiful faces.
Click
Yes.
subscribe.
Yeah, don't just watch us.
Yes. click subscribe, like, comment, and
Watch
subscribe.
us.
And share.
Leave a comment.
Yeah,
Yes.
share.
Do all these.
Tell your mama and them, your cousins and them, how much you be laughing when you be hearing them.
Y'all
Yeah.
hilarious. But yeah, did we forget anything?
I think that's it, guys. I feel like this was a really good topic. Like, really, really good topic.
Y'all make sure y'all check out Carol's Second Act. I gotta give y'all all the information.
Yes.
But we love y'all. Good God bless you.
God bless you.
We will
Yes.
see you next week.
Love and peace, guys.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.